And this is where approaches like somatic work and nervous system support, subconscious healing, trauma-informed care become an important part of this mental health conversation. Like, we're not just working on our mental thoughts. We are working with a live, embodied experience. Hey, beautiful. Welcome to Naturally Empowered Living, your safe space to guiding you on your unapologetic self-awakening journey. This is your weekly sanctuary for waking up from autopilot and transforming the way you approach life through the power of meditation, energetics, and root cause therapy. It is my mission to help you heal unprocessed emotions and release stuck energies by alchemizing your struggle cycles into opportunities for deep self-love, awareness, trust, and connection, to return to your innate essence of being, stepping back into your energy of alignment. Because here, we honor all parts of ourselves, the messy and the magic, the shadows and the light, embodying all parts that make you, you. So if you are ready to get to the root of cultivating real change, get cozy, grab your journal and maybe favorite crystals, and let's discover our power within together. What is up? Welcome back to another episode of the Naturally Empowered Living podcast. This is your host, guide, and mentor in all things energetics, emotions, and self-awakening, Jenna Smith. And if you were here with us last week, episode 179, we went into something that so many people silently carry. And this is just one of the many examples of adaptations. But we talked about responsibility turning into guilt and resentment, and how people-pleasing and emotional over-responsibility slowly disconnects us from ourselves. And today, I want to continue on that thread, but go a little deeper. You could have probably guessed that coming. Because what sits like underneath patterns, it's always something deeper. It's always something underneath the pattern. And I feel that I have just become so aware of seeing patterns and feeling into patterns, and just that's just a way that I am able to explain it. So if this is landing for you in a different capacity, or if it resonates in a different verbiage, absolutely allow that to roll with you, okay? So let's kind of give a little bit of context into bringing in last week's episode, how I said, it disconnects us from ourselves, but also it's a nervous system adaptation, right? It's something that has helped us protect us. We felt safe. We survived in that moment. And now it's replaying in our future, which has molded and compounded and transformed into now this expression, right? The people pleasing is the expression of that adaptation. So our nervous system has learned to survive through possibly suppressing or managing or avoiding, compartmentalizing emotions into maybe something that feels consciously understandable, or maybe we don't understand, and that's why we're avoiding it in the first place. Okay, so there's a lot of different variables at play. And I truly, really always try to, on this show and working with clients and just conversations in general, I always try to make what I speak on digestible. And if something lands for you in a different way, or like a different terminology, like what I just said, allow that. Allow it to land how it is meant to for you. And if you ever have any follow-up questions, or want me to speak on a specific topic, or you truly like, can you expand on this a little more? Like, my inbox is always open. hello@naturallympoweredliving.com. That does not mean that I'm expecting you to come work with me and, in some service capacity. Absolutely not. Like, I am here to help bring knowledge, to bring awareness, to bring normalization to us making sense as humans. Like, I'm wearing my shirt today. Like, your feelings are valid, right? You are, whatever you're feeling, you make sense. And this being Mental Health Awareness Month, it just feels important to like expand on a lot of these conversations, to widen this lens, not to invalidate anything of how we've been raised, or maybe what you've been taught, or maybe what your doctor has said. Absolutely do not, stop seeing your doctor or your mental health professionals. However, I'm offering this space to explore what it means to be human underneath possible the language that we've been given. Like emotion is energy. Everything is energy, but emotion is energy in motion. And when we don't allow that energy to move through us by suppressing it, ignoring it, intellectualizing it, compartmentalizing it, repressing, dissociating, labeling it without tending to that experience, to that somatic feeling itself, it does not disappear. You could shove it down all you want. It does not disappear. It just moves somewhere else. It compounds. Think of like water behind a dam. It eventually finds a way out. Sometimes gently, sometimes meaningly, sometimes all at once. And that expression of ours can show up in the body, in behavior patterns, in physical ailments, in anxiety, in depression, in shutdown, irritability, fatigue, or a sense of being disconnected from yourself entirely. And as deep as that just went, this is where we're going to begin today. From a place of understanding, like what happens when emotion becomes something that we manage instead of something that we allow to move through us and to feel it. So let's bring this, I want to say this because this is not my intention here. Like a mental health diagnosis is incredibly useful. I'm not trying to bypass that. I'm not trying to invalidate diagnosis. They can give language to experiences that possibly feel scary or unknown or chaotic or lonely. Like it could help you feel seen. It could help in guiding treatment and support and care. Like there's value in that. I'm not saying that having a diagnosis is not credible or doesn't matter. I'm not saying that whatsoever. Just at the same time, like it's one of those, like there can be boths, right? There can be boths. So we also have to be honest about what can happen when a possible diagnosis is given, and it's not just a description of symptoms. Now it becomes an identity that we maybe consciously or unconsciously begin to live inside of. Like our belief is powerful. I mean, we are our beliefs, bringing it back to this mindset loop, right? Our beliefs are enforcing our actions and enforcing our experiences and our thoughts and our beliefs. And it just is this constant loop. Like we see this everywhere in science, psychology, energetics. Like another example is take the placebo effect, for example. In clinical research, one group may receive a treatment or something of sorts, and another receives a placebo, meaning they have no active ingredient. There's nothing changing in their life. They're the control. And yet in many studies, both groups show improvement. How is that? It's not because the placebo is doing something chemically within their body, or it's not that this placebo, I mean, the placebo is nothing. It's because the belief itself influences the body's response system, or possibly the intention itself is influencing the body's response system. Like expectation changes experience. Meaning changes biology. Intention can change it all. Like the intention and energy behind that. So like when we zoom out even further and look at mental health through that lens, it invites a more nuanced question, let's say. Think about this. What happens when someone is repeatedly told that their emotional experience is lifelong? It never goes away. It's got to be managed, it's got to be contained, it's got to be controlled indefinitely. For many people, that is terrifying. It could become internalized. It could become into something is wrong with me and I have to be fixed. And it becomes an identity. It is consuming. And identity is powerful. Because we begin to now organize our choices, our self-perception, our beliefs, even our healing capacity around what we believe about ourselves. And this is where I want to offer a different perspective. Not one that is going to reject mental health language or a mental health diagnosis by any means. One that expands it. One that questions it. Like, what if, instead of seeing mental health conditions as something to fix or a fixed identity that's never going to be changed, what if we viewed them as patterns of adaptation? a collection of emotional experiences, nervous system responses, and protective mechanisms built over time in response to our life, our stress, and possible trauma. Not as something is wrong with someone, but as something that once helped someone survive. And then over time, those adaptations become overwhelming. They are no longer possibly manageable because they were never managed in the first place. And this is how confusion or emotional flooding or numbness or anxiety or disconnection, disassociation, possibly coping mechanisms can arrive. Not because we need fixing and we're broken, but because the system, your system, internal system, is still responding as if it needs to protect you from something that might not be happening in the present moment. So let's think of healing, or let's think of ourselves as a shattered mirror for a second. Again, not because we're broken. Think of it from a different perspective. Think of it as these pieces of this shattered mirror are our life experiences that could possibly become fragmented perceptions, or maybe an emotion, or a memory, or self-trust. And each piece of that mirror holds information. Each piece reflects a moment in time when something was too much, too fast, too unsafe, too overwhelming to fully process in that moment. And now think, you can't put that mirror back together by taking pieces away. Healing isn't about erasing those pieces. It's about gently, patiently reassembling them so that reflection can become clear and whole again. Not perfect. You're still going to see those, fragmented lines, but whole and more integrated, more true to who you are underneath just surviving. When emotions are suppressed or when trauma is not fully processed, the body holds on to that and the body adapts. It has to. It's not a failure. Our bodies are so incredibly intelligent. But sometimes that adaptation might turn into emotional numbing or hypervigilance or chronic stress patterns or disconnection from feeling altogether. And what we now call a symptom is sometimes the body communicating the only way it knows how. And this is where approaches like somatic work and nervous system support, subconscious healing, trauma-informed care become an important part of this mental health conversation. Like, we're not just working on our mental thoughts. We are working with a live, embodied experience. And it's important to speak about this, of course, with care, to bring safety and validation to someone. And medication, in many cases, can be supportive, can be crucial, life-saving, absolutely. Diagnoses, absolutely time and place for. For some people, that provides immediate life. It provides stabilization, during periods where functioning just feels impossible, difficult, overwhelming. It can also create space for someone to access support and rest and deeper healing work to possibly then, wean off of said medication. And during, as I'm speaking here at this time in our world, like, the broader scientific conversation around mental health is evolving. Like, it has become normalizing. And what we do know is that emotional well-being is also not reducible to this one single factor. Like, it's not just biology, it's not just the environment, it's not just our thought patterns. Like, we are all bio-individual pieces of energy, right? We are all bio-individual humans with complexity, with each complex interaction between nervous system regulation and our lived experience and our trauma history and our relationship and belief systems and our meaning, the meaning that we give life and ourselves. Like, it's all cupped into this called life. So we can hold support as a much larger healing process scale as well. One that includes understanding the bio-individuality of each person's story, or our nervous system, or our patterns, and our emotional truth. So if there's one thing, I know there's been a lot of talk on this episode, a lot of things to sit with, and hopefully that have landed with you. But if I could just drop one final tidbit in this episode, I just want you to know that you are not only a diagnosis. You are not only a label. You are not only a fixed emotional state. And you are not something to fix. You are a living, adaptive, intelligent system being that has learned how to survive and respond and navigate life in the best way that you could at the time. And healing is not about becoming someone new. It's about coming home to you. To be more aware, to be more integrated, to be more whole. And maybe to be able to feel without fear of being consumed by what you feel. And this is kind of where last week's conversation connects in, because people pleasing and emotional over responsibility, that guilt, the suppression, the resentment, like these are all ways that the nervous system tries to maintain safety and connection in said moments. However, it's costing you your internal alignment. So as we close today, I want to bring back something. I thought I said this already, but I didn't. I said that our emotions are energy in motion, but this is something else that I want to say. Like, emotions are not the enemy here. Our nervous systems, our bodies are not the enemy, and our past is not the enemy. Everything that you've experienced, everything that you've gone through has shaped you and essentially helped you in the way that you move through the world today. And now you get to choose. You get to decide. You get to begin to meet these patterns with awareness instead of judgment or blaming. You can meet them with presence instead of avoidance, and curiosity instead of that blaming or identity consumption. And possibly meet them with a beginning of a deeper sense of freedom. I'll put a couple support links for you in the show notes around mental health, and even to explore root cause therapy a little bit further. But also know that my inbox is always open. hello@naturallyempoweredliving.com. I love you. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. And until next week, as always, simply be you. You have everything inside of you to learn your energy of alignment and be unapologetic in who you are. I'm sending my love and so much light.
Did you find this episode free or empowering? Please read my review. Tickle, boop.
Thank you for spending this sacred time with me on Naturally Empowered Living. If this episode brought you closer to stepping into your energy of alignment, I'd love for you to leave a written review and share how this show has supported your journey. Your feedback truly lights me up and helps others find the space of transformation. And sharing it with someone who might need it spreads the ripple of healing even further. Be sure to check the show notes for ways to connect with me and explore personalized healing sessions and mentorships to deepen your self-awakening journey. Thank you. I appreciate all you are and all you do.